Call this December 5th regular session of the Oconee County Board of Education to order. First thing we need to do is we need a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Mr. Burgess?
Second.
Mr. Ransom, all in favor? Passes 5-0. Next, we need a motion to approve the minutes from our November 14th regular session.
So moved.
Mr. Bagley?
Second.
Ms. Parrish, all in favor? Passes 5-0. Next, we have recognitions.
Thank you, Ms. Zargon. If I could ask the board and the superintendent to come forward, we'll have this evening's recognitions. The board comes forward. Let me mention everyone that the art display out in the hallway is provided by students at High Shoals Elementary. Their instructor is Charles Klinkenbeard. If you haven't done so already, you certainly want to check out the outstanding artwork. The board will recognize the December Pursuit of Excellence Award, and the winner this month is Lindsay Adair, a paraprofessional at Collin Ferry Elementary School. Lindsay, if you'll come forward, please. Ms. Adair is going to receive a $50 Visa gift card. She's going to receive a $50 Visa gift card and a cutting board provided by Peach State Federal Credit Union. Chops and Hops also donated a $50 gift card, and a commemorative plaque will be presented from Oconee County Schools. I want to share some things that were shared about Lindsay by those who nominated her. Lindsay Adair is the perfect example of a paraprofessional. She is the perfect match for our PE teacher, and they work together flawlessly. She is always willing to go above and beyond in any situation. The students know and love her. Lindsay is a motivated Mustang and OCS employee. She represents our county well. Lindsay is always positive and upbeat and does a great job connecting with our students. She always steps in and helps volunteer whenever needed and is very organized. Her principal, Dr. Catherine Brown, said Coach Lindsay Adair brings positive energy and enthusiasm to her job every day. She is always willing to jump in and help wherever needed. We are so thankful to have Lindsay as part of the Mustang family. So congratulations, Lindsay Adair. The board now is pleased to recognize community partner Hayward Allen Toyota. Hayward Allen provides the OCS Teacher of the Year with a vacation package of $1,000 and a rental car for 2 weeks. Tim Jump will accept the award on behalf of Hayward Allen. The board is also pleased this evening to recognize community partner Oconee Chamber of Commerce. The Oconee Chamber of Commerce supports the Teacher of the Year program, student scholarships, and provides $10,000 annually in teacher mini grants. Stuart Kofer is the Oconee Chamber Executive Board Chair and will accept the award on behalf of
Thank you.
This concludes this evening's recognitions. Thank you.
Next on our agenda is Points of Pride, and today we have High Shoals Elementary. Welcome, Ms. Whitaker, and students.
Good evening, Dr. Branch and board. Thank you for this opportunity to spotlight some of the amazing things taking place at High Shoals. In addition to providing students with an awesome classroom experience and high quality instruction, we also take great pride in creating opportunities for students to find a place and explore their interests. Our morning broadcast team, which is led by Ms. Jenna Elvan-Kabadi and our media specialist, Ms. Erin McElroy, is one opportunity that we have for students to be involved in our school. So sit back and enjoy a special edition of HSES Live focused on how High Shoals Elementary engages students beyond the classroom.
On set, 3, 2.
Good evening, board, and welcome to a special edition of HSES Live. I'm Anna Patterson.
And I am Brooks Thomas.
We are reporting this evening from Oconee County Board of Education at 34 School Street. Tonight, we have a special report about High Shoals Elementary School.
That's right, Anna. Great things are happening at High Shoals. Everyone knows HSES has a strong reputation for academic excellence. But tonight we want to focus on all the opportunities available to students beyond the core subjects that be an engaging school experience. Let's send it over to Millie Berry on location to tell us more.
Thanks, Brooks. High Shoals offers students a wide range of opportunities that allows them to explore their interests and develop leadership skills. Fifth graders at High Shoals apply for jobs that they can work each morning. Jobs include running the school store, safety patrols, office assistant, blackboard, and K-2 classroom helpers, like the ones you see behind me. The Great Club and Healthy Master Clubs give students the chance to develop character and leadership skills through service learning projects. They have just completed their chemo care bag drive and provided 40 care packages for local cancer centers. Healthy Masters attend basic first aid training on Wednesday. They also coordinated and ran the Canathon, which led to 5,000 cans being donated to ACTS. Students on their recycling team collected and sort recycling each week, and our volunteer cleaning crew helps our custodians each afternoon. As you can see, the broadcast crew produces our weekly announcements by writing scripts, conducting interviews, and creating graphics in Canva. Now let's go to Christian Riverback at the BOE to tell us more about student engagement at HSES.
Great reporting, Millie.
High Shoals offers
Great reporting, Millie. In addition to all of the things you shared, High Shoals offers after-school clubs for students. On your screen, you will see some pictures from after-school clubs. High Shoals clubs include PE, robotics, chorus, book club, and art club. These opportunities give High Shoals students the chance to explore their interests and develop relationships with students from other grade levels. Now let's turn it over to Mr. Klinkenbeer to tell us more about the art club at HSES.
Thanks, Brooks. First of all, I love working with the brilliant students at HSES. I can stand in front of them and say, hey, let's build a giant pile of vintage toys to make the grown-ups feel like kids again. And they say, how do we do it? Or I might say, let's have a relay and see who can thread a sewing machine the fastest. And they say, I will, even though the majority of them can't tie their shoes yet. I realized that after the fact. And by the way, the record is 17 seconds. I've also said, let's build a 20-foot long roller coaster for the front of the school. And what did we do? We built the Roly-Sholy, complete with lights. This year we learned to make intricate prints of leaves on jelly plates. Kindergartners learned to stitch pumpkins using plastic needles, and 22 students in the last 2 weeks have asked to take home looms to weave on their own this year. So many students signed up for Art Club, we had to extend it to 3 after-school classes rather than just 1. At High Shoals, the demand to make art is fierce and the enthusiasm is contagious. They love making, creating, and exploring their ideas. There are no limits to what we can create together, with the help of support of our administrators, of course. And that, Brooks, is what success looks like at HSES.
Thank you, Mr. Blake. Excellent job. It's clear that HSCS is focused on providing excellent extracurricular experiences for students.
Thank you for joining us for this special edition of HSES Live. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas!
Would the students like to get a picture with the board? Would you delighted to do that? Also, Mr. Klink, I think is how they addressed you. Great job on that red wagon, the Oconee flyer that you have out in the, it was wonderful on our parade float.
Great job. Thank you.
I don't know if I want to stand by this guy or not. It made it look bad.
1, 2, 3. Arm, let them get you.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Great job. Good job.
Thank you, parents, for sharing them.
Well, that's good, thank you.
Sorry, Lonnie. Went off script. Next on our agenda is Superintendent's Report. Dr. Branch.
Thank you, Ms. Argo. Thank you, board members, and what a talented group of students and staff that we have in our schools every day. I tell you, it's always pleasing to see them report out of the great work that they're doing. I know you concur that it's just amazing to watch the talent that comes in this room each month and that we know is in our schools each day, including Mr. Blankenbeard, who Dr. LaDuff and I had an opportunity to talk with earlier today as he was finishing the decorations out there, and pointed out that many of the decorations that are on our tree are made by students, if not all of them, and that set that you see out there took over 100 hours of student and staff work to do. So I know that you've all shared your excitement on the float, but I wanted you to know the amount of work and effort that went into that. And obviously, when you see it, you can see that. And great things like that happening in our schools each and every day. Tonight, I want to take the opportunity to thank you as board members for enabling that work, and specifically thank Mr. Bagley, who is concluding yet another year of service for us. As he is prone to do, he's asked us not to make any big deal about his service and his willingness to come back in the middle of a pandemic, might I add, to serve his community. But as this is his last month to be my boss, I ignored that request. And at the direction and request of others that certainly want to celebrate the work that's taking place, Wayne, we want to just take a minute and highlight what has been a tremendous year of service, and almost a year and a half of service that you provided. And so I know that we've done this for the decade of service that you provided in the past, but we want to recognize what's taken place in just this year. And I think as we compile this as a staff, we were shocked is probably the right word about the amount of work that the board approves and just impacts on a yearly basis. And so just want to share some of those things that have happened since September 2nd, 2021, and will happen through the course of this month. As it relates to our business services division, you have approved a $95 million budget, and at the same time approved the 15.5 millage rate, which is the lowest rate this century. From Human Resources, you have approved 213 new hires, a new associate superintendent, a new CFO, a new chief academic officer, the system's first chief technology officer, 3 new directors, director of finance, director of assessment, and director of secondary education. 7 principals have been approved this year under your leadership. 4 new and 3 to new locations. 5 new assistant principals have been approved. Moving to operations, in this 1-year period, we've approved the addition to High Shoals at $3.2 million, the construction of Dove Creek Middle School at $39.5 million, Phase 1 renovations at Oconee Primary and Oconee Elementary for $2.7 million, board office refurb, if you will, refresh, the paving at high schools for $400,000, Phase 2 modifications at Oconee Primary, Oconee Elementary, and Oconee High School at a fee of $4.6 million, a new grounds maintenance contract, $360,000, and the purchase of 10 buses for $1.36 million, totaling approval just in the operations category of $52.4 million. In student services, approved 23 out-of-state field trips and added 3 new sports to our collection of students: bass fishing, esports, and girls flag football. You've also added safety measures with additional access controls at $350,000. You've named a new school, approved Dove Creek Middle School as the official name of our 3rd middle school. And tonight, we'll be asking you to approve an academic calendar for our school year going forward. You've approved in teaching and learning a strategic waiver school system contract extension based on the recommendation of the state school superintendent. In special education services, you have approved not 1, but 2 special education shared services contracts at the tune of $725,000 over both FY22 and FY23. Tonight, we will also be asking for your approval of a new student information system at a cost of $160,000. All this in the area of teaching and learning, totaling nearly $1 million. You've also approved several board policies in this 1-year period. Board policy IDBH, which was health and physical education update, to rescind that policy and get in line with the state board policy that was updated. Board policy IEDA, unstructured break time based on House Bill 1283. Board policy IKBB, divisive concepts complaint resolution process based on House Bill 1084. Board policy IKBC, materials harmful to minors complaint resolution process based on Senate Bill 226. And board policy BCBI, public participation in board meetings based on Senate Bill 588. In the area of technology, you've approved 876 Chromebooks at a cost of over $350,000. 40 new desktop computers, $33,000. HDMI cabling in 514 classrooms, or over $75,000 purchase. New Wi-Fi across the district for a cost of $350,000. 235 projectors and over $100,000 for that. New firewalls to protect our information, $89,000. Network cabling and equipment for Dove Creek Middle School, over $300,000. 3 new servers for our data center. The Canvas Learning Management System to replace It's Learning is on the docket as well. Lightspeed has a new internet filter for $50,000. Audio enhancement at Oconee Primary, Oconee Elementary, and Dove Creek, $188,000, $209,000, and $312,000 respectively. So the total for that is $2.65 million worth of technology expenditures, with another about $1 million on the docket tonight, pending your approval. So to say that you have had an impact in a short amount of time over the course of this year is really to understate the work that has taken place by all board members, but certainly by yourself as well. And so we just want to take this moment to celebrate you and appreciate you and point out what we, as we compiled, was just a tremendous amount of work that I think even made us become more aware of the importance that you have in sitting in that chair and supporting the work that takes place here. So thank you for your service, and thank you for coming back yet again. It will be difficult to continue board meetings and not look out and see your truck out there a few minutes early, knowing that you're finishing your preparations and phone calls for our meeting. So a round of applause for Mr. Clark.
Wayne, I'd just like to say it's a privilege to have been with you the entire time you've been on board. I think I'm the only one up here that's had that privilege, and it's been a pleasure. And it was a no-brainer when we had just a short term to fill that no training was required. You'd only been off the board maybe 8 months, and we appreciate you stepping in to fill that role. And wish you, Margaret, and the boys all the success and good health in this world.
Yeah, I knew you'd come back for just a short period of time, but I didn't know you spent that much money in such a I knew you'd been busy, but I appreciate Jason kind of adding it all up for us, so we know just how busy you've been. Now, all kidding aside, I do want to say to you, my friend, it's been a real honor to serve with you on this board. You were here when I got here. You've been here for many years already. And I know you chose not to run again for personal family reasons after having committed a number of years of service to the board and done your part. And just like Kim said, I will always be indebted for your willingness to come back at a time when we needed someone with experience, with judgment, and with balance to fill in after we had an unexpected resignation and things got jumbled up. And I know that was a sacrifice for you, and so I appreciate it. And for me, you will always be the face of a true public servant. So thank you very much for what you've done.
I know you came back just because this side of the room is more fun. It's more fun at this table, kids' table. But I am very grateful that you came back. I have learned a lot from you over the years, and you have real skills that add a lot of value to this board, your skill set, and I appreciate all the wisdom you've imparted to us and shared with us. But I knew bringing you back was an easy choice because just like the Facebook post you made today about the parade, Wayne truly puts the kids first, and you often get passionate about it, emotional about it, but I know you always put the students first, and that's what's so important and so great about you. You'll be missed. We've had a lot of laughs together.
We kind of stole my thunder there. I was going to say that he always does it for the students, because you should have seen the smile yesterday on his face, handing out candy and maybe pegging some people with suckers. This huge smile and always there for the students. I really appreciate that, and all the experience and advice you've given me and the rest of the board. Appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it all. It sounds like Jason, you know, that he brought me back. I spent a lot of money, like Tim said, but you know, it was an honor to come back. It was the right thing to do, and you know, I know I said when I resigned the first time that if you need me, give me a call. I ain't gonna change my phone number. Anything on it, just let me know. But it's been an honor to serve with all of you. I've always done it from day one. It's been great. Appreciate it. And so.
Well, Wayne, we have another token of our appreciation. We know that you have one for your service prior, but we wanted to recognize this service separately. And so it says, Mr. J. Wayne Bagley, Oconee County Board of Education 2021 to 2022, in honor of your leadership, service, and dedication to the Oconee County Schools community. So I'll present you that.
I just have one final question. After all these years and now that you're leaving the board, I've never known what J stood for. The J. Wayne.
Joseph.
Joseph.
Yeah.
Very good.
And I used to do that all the time when I was younger because I wanted to get the respect of elder people I've worked with, all the more senior people when I was first starting out in business. So I thought, couldn't put an Esquire on their side, so J. Wayne Bagley sounded a little older. So now that I am older, I could probably drop the J. Stand for Joseph, so I always wanted to be a Joe, but my brother insisted on Wayne, so here I am.
Next on our agenda are presentations and discussions. First, we have teaching and learning report. Welcome, Dr. Stansel.
Thank you. It's hard to follow that up. Good evening, board members. The December 2022 Teaching and Learning Report contains 5 items of information and 1 action item. The first item of information is an update on the 2022 8th grade career fair. The annual 8th grade career fair was held at the Oconee County Civic Center on November 10th. Students from both Malcolm Bridge Middle School and Oconee County Middle School had the opportunity to attend the event and network with 37 local businesses and post-secondary programs. We greatly appreciate all of our partners for taking the time to attend this event and share valuable information and resources with our students. I also want to commend Beth Parks and Amy Frutiger for their hard work coordinating this annual event. The second item of information is an update on the 2022 Georgia Council of Administrators of Special Education Fall Conference. Oconee County's very own District Teacher of the Year, Ms. Abby Bishop, presented at the GCASE conference this year with Northeast Georgia RESA Teacher of the Visually Impaired, Ginger Smith. This presentation highlighted the best practices that are shared within the Northeast Georgia RESA Collaborative Consortia. The third item of information is an update on the Special Olympics Area Games. On November 9th, 94 of our Special Olympians competed in the area games at Athens Academy and Showtime Bowling. Students competed with Clark and Greene County schools. Events included individual basketball skills for some of our younger students, 3x3 team basketball for high school, as well as bowling. Our 2 OCHS teams placed second and third in the basketball tournament. All of our students were recognized and received ribbons for their outstanding performances. The fourth item of information is an update on the GSBA Leading Edge Award. The Georgia School Board Association Leading Edge Award seeks to highlight school districts that are leading the way in ensuring students are competitive in an ever-changing global market. This unique achievement recognizes innovative designs and implementation of projects and programs by local governance teams that are having a significant positive impact on student achievement and engagement. We are excited to announce that our system has been named as one of the recipients of this prestigious award based on our implementation of Innovation Oconee. I also want to say a very special thank you to Jennifer Adams and Ryan White for their outstanding work on this program. The fifth item of information is an update on the Spirit store at Oconee County High School. We are excited to announce that the marketing program at OCHS recently opened its new school store called the Spirit Shop. The grand opening and ribbon cutting ceremony took place on Friday, November 18th. This was a collaboration along with the engineering program that aided in the design and building of the store wall and displays. We are excited about this opportunity for students to continue to develop their marketing and entrepreneurship skills through this new endeavor. Our action item for the December Board of Education meeting is for the new student information system. Oconee County Schools posted a RFP for a new student information system to replace the existing system on October 26, 2022, and closed on November 2nd, 2022. The superintendent's recommendation is for the Board of Education to approve Infinite Campus as the new student information system for Oconee County Schools at the December 5th Board of Education meeting with a bid of $159,513.92. This will be paid for using general funds. That concludes my report unless there are questions.
Mr. Burgess?
Susan, can you, maybe Ryan, what caught my eye on the bids were the huge disparity in the bids. You know, one of them being $1.2 million and ours, the winning bid being $150,000, over $60,000. Can you talk a second about what was going on with the bids that made some people bid so outlandish? So why were the bids?
Yes.
I mean, what was going on with the bids that caused some people just be so much higher than others?
Part of it was, and I can answer part, and Brian can fill in also. Part of it, Infinite Campus, the student information system that we're going with, provides unlimited support and training to us under the cost of the $159,000 bid that they put in. There are some programs that cost by the hour for assistance. We had one program that charged $90 an hour for assistance, and others, you know, we had one that was upwards of $1.2 million for basically things that Infinite Campus can also provide us.
Yeah, Infinite Campus and Power School both already have a presence in the state of Georgia with all the state reporting features that are baked into it. That'd have to be completely custom made by another company if they were to come into the state. So because they already have that available, they can offer that at a cheaper price.
Okay. Thanks.
Yes, sir.
Anyone else? Thank you, Dr. Stanton.
Thank you.
Next, we have technology. Mr. Ryan White, welcome.
Good evening, board members and Dr. Grant. The Oconee County Schools Division of Technology Services December 5th, 2022 Board of Education report contains no informational items and 2 action items for this evening and 3 action items for the January 9th, 2023 Board of Education meeting. Action items for this evening are the new network management for the school system, the superintendent's recommendations for the Board of Education to approve the purchase from Cirrus Networks at the December 5th, 2022 Board of Education regular session for $325,624.16 for 5-year licensing for new network management. These will be paid for using general fund and E-rate dollars. The second action item for this evening is audio enhancement. The superintendent's recommendations for the Board of Education to approve the purchase from audio enhancement at the December 5th, 2022 Board of Education regular session for $568,415.48.
for classroom audio and a new intercom. This project will be paid for using ELOST and general fund dollars. We also have some action items for the January 9th meeting that we wanted to bring to you this evening, because these items, we want to give you an opportunity to ask any questions and provide information to you as well. So the first action item for the January 9th Board of Education meeting would be for Chromebooks. And these Chromebooks are part of the first replacement cycle for that first batch of Chromebooks that we bought in 2018. The superintendent's recommendations for the Board of Education to approve Virtucom were the bid of $1,562,588 for 3,651 HP G9 Chromebooks and 148 HP X360 touchscreen Chromebooks. This will be paid for using ELOST and general fund dollars. The second action item for the January 9th meeting will be Chromebook warranties. The superintendent's recommendations for the Board of Education to approve Virtucom with a bid of $106,657.20 for 3,816 student Chromebook warranties. This project will be paid for using ELOST and general fund dollars. The final action item for the January 9th, 2023 Board of Education meeting will be desktop computers. The superintendent's recommendation is for the Board of Education to approve Lightspeed with a bid of $156,480 for 192 desktop computers. This project will be paid for using ELOST and general fund dollars. That concludes the report from technology. Is there any questions?
I had one, the audio enhancement system.
Yes, ma'am.
Which school is that for?
So we already have it at Coney Primary, Coney Elementary, and Dove Creek. So this would finish out all the remaining elementary schools. So it'd be Calm Ferry, Rocky Branch, Malcolm Bridge Elementary, and High Shoals. High Shoals has an older intercom, so we're just gonna wrap in the intercom replacement to cover that as well.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
So this would not include the the 2 or 3 middle schools, or what's the
No,
status
sir.
of those?
Sir?
Or what's the status of the middle schools when it comes to this enhancement system?
Right now, we're looking at the elementary schools. That's something we can definitely take a look at, and I can get you that information.
So this just finishes out the elementary schools.
Yes.
The middle schools don't have it. We'll look at that later to see if you want to move in that direction on those.
If that's the board's wish, we can definitely take a look at that, sir.
I'll take guidance from Susan, the teachers on
I do believe we're placing the system in the new middle school
Yes,
as much like we did at Dove Creek Elementary to ensure that, you know, we see how it works at the secondary level, what the teachers' thoughts are on it there, and then look at expansion going there.
So Dove Creek will open up with this audio enhancement in the system,
Yes.
in the school, and we'll talk about what the other two do and not.
Very good.
Anyone else? Thank you. Our next presentation is from Human Resources, Dr. Brooke Whitmire. Welcome.
Thank you, Mrs. Argo. Well, board members, as you know, last month you approved the redistricting plan for Dove Creek Middle School, which we're all very excited about and continues to become closer and closer to a reality. We are now prepared to turn our attention to the staffing portion of redistricting. And I'll tell you up front, board members, this is a long process. It's something that is going to take some time. There is a lot that we don't know and won't know for some period of time as we work through staffing allocations, school choice for students, and whatnot. But what we do know is that in building a new middle school and basically rezoning such that a good number of students will be moving from Malcolm Bridge Middle School to Dove Creek Middle School, we know there are going to be some staffing changes. And so the first piece of that, as we've done before in other redistricting processes, the first piece of that is going to be to go to the faculty and staff of Malcolm Bridge Middle School, give them an opportunity to state whether or not they would like to volunteer to be reassigned to Dove Creek Middle School. That process will begin soon. We will discuss this tomorrow, in fact, with school leadership. We plan on reviewing the process with the faculty and staff at Malcolm Bridge Middle School on Wednesday. They will then have the opportunity to volunteer, to consider whether or not they want to volunteer. Those forms will be due before the start of the holiday break here shortly. As you know, ongoing is the school choice process for students that runs simultaneously to this, but we anticipate being able to inform those folks that volunteer from Malcolm Ridge Middle by January 20th of the status of their volunteer application. As you know, board members, by board policy, every year, every employee in Oconee County Schools has the opportunity to request a voluntary transfer to another location in the same position. That process always takes place right at the end of January, 1st of February. It's about a 10-day process. We will run right into that after the initial communication with Malcolm Ridge Middle. At that time, again, employees at all schools have the opportunity to request transfer to anywhere else, any other school, including Dove Creek Middle. Once that is done, we'll take stock of where things are as we continue to get ready for staffing allocations that take place, as you know, in March. If it is necessary to displace any staff, if we're not all balanced out before we do hiring, we'll certainly take care of our existing staff before we do any external hiring. Again, this is very similar to processes that we followed in the past. So with that, I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have.
Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up is business services. Welcome, Ms. Harlow.
Good evening, board members. Business Services has 7 items of information for tonight's board meeting. The first item of information is the November cash balance report. The second item of information is a list of all vendor payments in November. The third item of information is the budget report for November. The revenues and expenditures are where we would expect at this time of year. The next item of information is the ELOS collections report. The rolling average is 13% over the previous year, and this month's collections are 20% over the previous period last year. The next item of information is the board report for ELOS 5, and as every month, the revenues and expenses have been updated as of November 30th. The next item of information is the board report for ELOS 6. Revenues and expenses have been updated as of November 30th. And the last item of information is the federal funds report for November. The report has been updated as of November 30th of this year. And that concludes my report, unless there are any questions.
Any questions?
Just Liz, on the budget, the revenue page of the budget report, we're showing about 85% of ad valorem taxes collected. What's the effective date of this report in terms of collection so far?
It's through November 30th.
November 30th, okay. I know you report early, so it's probably early. So you still got a little bit more time to get to that 15%.
Yes,
I paid mine, by the way, so you should mind.
I know I won't be here to see it, but it would really be interesting to see the effect of the Costco opening. I've dealt with a lot with them over the past 2 years in certain other scenarios, and a lot of tax sales projected budgets and things like that are involved, so the numbers are really amazing, based upon projections, so we just hope it gets reported properly. So,
see it as an interesting citizen.
All privileges revoked. Thank you.
Thank you. Next on our agenda is the Associate Superintendent's Report. Welcome, Dr. Liddell.
Thank you. Good evening, board members, Dr. Branch. The Student Services Report contains 4 items of information and 0 action items for tonight's meeting. The first item of information is school choice. As you all know, since the last Board of Education meeting, our school choice window opened. So we are currently receiving applications. To date, we have a total of 76 applications received to go to our various schools for next year. The second item of information is the Georgia Student Health Survey. Oconee County Schools will administer the Georgia Student Health Survey to our students between February 13th, 2023 and March 10th of 2023. All of our school principals respectively will send out information regarding the Student Health Survey in January. And in those communications, they will attach the ability for parents to opt out of their students taking that survey, along with the actual surveys themselves, so they have an opportunity to review the survey before they make that decision. The third item of information is our school nutrition update. Happy to report that we had an increase in breakfast of 1.82% and an increase in lunch of 2.94% for participation when compared to the 1920 school year. And our fourth item of information tonight is graduation dates and times. Happy to report that we have secured Stegman Coliseum for Saturday, May 20th. The Oconee County High School ceremony will begin at 3 p.m. and the North Oconee High School ceremony will begin at 7 p.m. Before the meeting this afternoon, our high school principals communicated those dates and times with senior parents and students. And after the meeting tonight, we will post that on social media for the community to see. And that concludes the student services report, unless there's any questions.
Any questions?
Okay, I'm going to ask Mr. Ricketson to come and give us the operations report.
Good evening. Good evening.
The Oconee County Schools Operations Division December Board of Education report contains 4 items of information and no action items. First is the energy report. The October energy report shows an on-trend decrease in usage over September. Mr. Brian Bond and maintenance team have worked diligently for us to achieve the lowest October kilowatt hour usage on record. Lead custodian meeting. The November lead custodian meeting was held on Thursday, November 10th, 2022, and was hosted by the team at Malcolm Bridge Middle School. Mr. Barnett, the lead custodian at Malcolm Bridge Middle, delivered a presentation on the benefits of a clean school. Our custodial teams would be commended for the rigorous work ensuring that our schools are clean for health. Third item is the can-a-thon. Oconee County Schools collected 37,028 cans and $2,880 for the annual ACTS can-a-thon. Cans were collected from Monday, October 31st through Friday, November the 11th. These donations will go a long way to help support the families of Oconee County. Then the construction update. Duff Creek Middle School, the contractor has made progress on getting the building dried in, with more than 50% of the roof complete. Much of the site work is complete as well, so we're not impacted by the weather as much as we have been in months past. All the block walls on the lower level are complete, and the remaining walls on the upstairs are scheduled to be complete by next week. The contractors continue to make progress with electrical and mechanical system installation, and is even continuing to make progress on interior painting. Oconee Primary, Elementary, Oconee High modifications. Preliminary work has continued this month as we work through the submittal process and are ordering materials. We're working towards having the necessary materials on hand so that we can begin work as soon as classes are released for the summer break. The new ISC. We submitted a variance request to the City of Watkinsville on November the 4th. It's currently under review and we've been placed on the agenda to present the request on the December 21st City Council meeting. The design team has worked diligently to get the construction documents completed so that we will be positioned to advertise the project for proposals in early 2023. Finally, Malcolm Bridge Elementary School, the design team is continuing to work on the contract documents and we're working towards advertising for proposals in early 2023. That concludes the operations report. Is there any questions?
Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Fred. The communications report contains 1 item of information and 1 action item for tonight's meeting. The first item of information is our monthly highlights video. Board members, as you can see, all the money that Mr. Bagley has spent got us in very good shape. Our students and teachers are thriving.
Until December 31st.
Our action item for this evening is the 24-25 academic calendar. The superintendent's recommendation is to take the calendar off the table and approve it as presented. That concludes communications unless there's any questions.
Any questions? Thank you. Okay, next we have communications to the board. Do we have anyone sign up?
We did not.
All right, then we'll move to action items. Dr. Branch.
Yes, ma'am. Board members, we have a couple action items tonight, as you've heard from staff. First up is our 2024-25 academic calendar, and we recommend that be approved as presented.
We need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Mr. Burgess,
Second.
Mr. Bagley, all in favor? Passes 5-0.
Up next is the new student information system. We would recommend the board approve Infinite Campus with a bid of $513.92 to be paid for using general fund dollars.
We need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Mr. Bagley,
Second.
Mr. Ransom, all in favor? Passes 5-0.
Network management, we'd recommend approval of Sirius Networks with a bid of $325,624.16 for 5-year licensing for the new network management. Again, this would be paid for using general fund dollars and also E-rate dollars.
Need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Mr. Bagley,
Second.
Ms. Parrish, all in favor? Passes 5-0.
Enjoyment over
More opportunity. Next up is audio enhancement. We recommend approving audio enhancement at a cost of $568,415.48. Again, this is to provide audio enhancement in the remaining elementary schools, as well as a new intercom in one of our schools. These additions would be paid for using ELOS dollars and general fund dollars.
Need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Mr. Bagley,
Second.
Mr. Burgess, all in favor? Passes 5-0. We do have a need to go into executive session and need a motion to do so.
I'll make a motion that the board will adjourn to executive session to discuss and deliberate upon personnel matters as described on the affidavit to be attached to the minutes.
And we need a second.
Second.
Mr. Ransom, all in favor? Passes 5-0.
All right, board members, we'll take a few minutes to clear the room.